between Eric Heiden and Dan Jansen. That's pretty cool. Tom from New Berlin says, multitasking, watching the opening of the Olympics, guys. It's entertaining. It always is. I love that. I'm with you, Tom. I love the opening ceremonies. It's so cool when they all walk in. I don't know. That never gets old for me. Tom also says, must see. Agreed, Tom. All right, so it is a Terry Bar Band Friday night. She'll be here at 8:35 with new music. Great music like she always brings. She's batting 1,000, Conrad. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
I told you I was going to ask that question and what to say, but I'm glad you still acquiesced, as they say. Right now, we're going to turn our attention to entertainment and movies and TV with a frequent Nite Lite flyer here. Our buddy Rob Thomas from the Capital Times joins us now on the stream. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Pete. How are you?
Doing very well, thanks. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
So you've been a U.S. citizen now officially for like 3 weeks. Do you feel different?
Well, I think this has been the most eventful 3 weeks in American political history. So I feel like I've lived a lifetime here now. So
do you feel taller, Rob?
A little bit
more chest thumpy?
Got a bit of a swagger, a bit of an American swagger.
I love it. That's awesome. So, all right. So I don't know if you can help us with this, Rob. We had Matt Eisman on the show last week, the host of American Ninja Warrior. We talked about the Twinges from Madison. You did a great article recently about these two guys from Madison. Do you know what happened on Monday? Because I don't know if they're keeping it under wraps, if they just filmed it. I thought it was supposed to air on Monday.
Well, I watched it.
You did? So it was on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on Monday. Yeah. And unless what was on NBC or Peacock was supposed to be embargoed, they showed it by mistake. They did not make it to the next round.
Okay.
So it was very fun. I don't think I realized, like, I talked to them and they were like, oh, everybody's buddies and we share tips on how to beat the course. And I was kind of, at the time I was kind of like, isn't this a competition? I mean, they're warriors. But you watch the show, and it's like they're all best buddies with each other. When Nathan was running, his opponent's mom was wearing one of Nathan's Twinges T-shirts and like cheering.
Oh, wow!
And like before Marquez and his opponent went, and the two brothers had trained with his opponent in Iowa. I guess he was a national finalist. They took a selfie together, and.
Wow.
It's just such a different vibe that, like, you don't see that on The Bachelorette. You don't see them I hope you make it if I don't. So it's just an interesting, very friendly vibe. So, while I'm sure they're disappointed they didn't make it to the next round, it's a very supportive group. And so it was fun to watch that way.
If there's one thing I think that's been lacking from The Bachelorette, parkour. Get those women out there, see what they can do.
They're thinking, remember that show Wipeout? I feel like the Bachelorette Wipeout is in the offing pretty soon. I think. Yeah.
I do. Boy, Wipeout was such an almost win. Like it was borderline. Like I watched it when my kids were young. It was fun enough, but the jokes were so bad. And I don't know, it was like borderline entertainment. Am I wrong?
We enjoyed it. And again, I watched it with my kids when they were young. Same thing. It was good. Cross-generational entertainment, just dumb people getting punched with giant punching bag, put boxing gloves and fall into the water, and we had a good time with it. So,
all right. Well, we agree to disagree, Rob.
Yeah.
You're
more highbrow than me. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I need my Wipeout to be a little more cerebral.
More of a
plot. Speaking of, I don't know what just got me on this. Oh, multi-generational entertainment. I don't know if I've told you this. I love the movie Paul Blart Mall Cop. When I went to see it with my son, he was like 6, and or maybe he was 8. I don't know. It was just one of those films that was silly and sweet, and we just both loved it. I saw you wrote recently about Paul Blart 3, but it's not a threequel. It's an actual stage play.
No, yes, and probably it's best that Kevin James' attorneys don't know about it, I think. But it's this Madison comedian, Alan Talega. He wrote, I think this was before the pandemic, he wrote like an unauthorized threequel to the Paul Blart series because, part 2, Paul Blart went to Vegas. And this was a post-apocalyptic story where I think they're trying to search for Paul Blart because like society has fallen. They're trying to build a mall as like a shrine to the before times. Of course, they need security. So he wrote this play. It premiered in Madison at sort of an underground theater and was a huge hit, like a sold out every performance.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I interviewed him because now he's taking it to kind of on the road to like Minneapolis and Indianapolis. They have these what they call fringe festivals, which are sort of
Oh,
like
yeah.
theater and stand-up comedy and sort of edgy, kind of subversive, usually funny type things. And so they're taking it there, and it's starting in Madison this weekend. It's doing a weekend, a few shows in each of those days, and then back here, and it's become
Okay.
quite a thing. Yeah, I mean, it's become quite a hit show. And the thing he thought was funny was he meant to satirize Paul Blart and just the idea of like, the legacy sequel. But he said he found like people get really emotionally involved in it. Like the things he wrote as jokes, people are like cheering about. So it shows,
Wow.
if Kevin James wants to do a Paul Blart 3, he might want to come to Madison and catch this performance.
Yeah, I 10 sold out shows in Madison. That's pretty good. I thought Paul Blart was a satire already of like mall cops, So
No, I think it was very sincere about
yeah,
mall security and the challenges they face in our society. Yeah.
right. Sure.
Yeah.
I get that. Let's talk about what we've seen because you and
Okay.
you've seen a lot of stuff that I haven't. And I think I always like talking to you, getting your opinion before I head out to the theaters. You've seen Twisters. What did you
Yep.
think?
I thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the original Twister in 1996. I remember seeing it in the theater and just remembering how loud it was. These tornadoes, like,
Yeah.
and they did a good job. It's sort of strange. It's like tied very slightly to the older movie, but there's no characters carried over. And it's a similar sort of disaster movie vibe where you've got these storm chasers and the tornadoes are wreaking destruction and they get bigger and bigger. And everybody's talking about Glenn Powell from Top Gun Maverick. He's really good as sort of I guess he's kind of like a YouTuber, right, who chases these tornadoes and then puts it up on social media. And Daisy Edgar Jones is the more serious-minded scientist. And I mean, I saw it with my brother, and we had a great time. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's on my list. I didn't love the first one. I just thought I didn't hate it. I just thought it was a little hokey. Like when they get the science guy, and then the more the guy who could sense the tornado. I don't know. It was just
Yeah, they did.
Strange, little hokey.
It's a little hokey too. It's like there's science, and then
Okay.
there's sort of like tornado whisperers who can sort of tell,
Right.
I think they did a good job. The one thing I thought was interesting was like the tornadoes in 1996, like the special effects were pretty spectacular. And like now we kind of seen it all after CGI, so they do a good job putting you a little more on the characters, I think, and not expecting you're going to be wowed by the spectacle of these CGI tornadoes.
Oh, okay.
And there's some interesting, I think I remember being a little more suspenseful in 1996. Maybe, like I said, maybe it was all new to me and you're a little more jaded now. But it's still like I said, it's a good time. Very much a big screen summer movie. I'm not surprised it's doing really well. It's the kind of movie that you go out and see in the summer.
Boy, the blockbusters come back gangbusters, don't you think?
Well,
the movie.
Yeah, my theory is that they're starting the summer movie season too early. Like they're starting it in the first week of May, and I think once the kids are out of school and the temperature goes up, people want to go out to summer movies. But
right.
And so that's why you're seeing like the Bad Boys movie, and of course all the kids movies like Inside Out 2, which we talked about last time, is so great. And I think that's why they're really doing well. It's like that's something you want to do in the summer, is find an air conditioned theater and
absolutely
a big movie and have a good time. So, and then I think like Deadpool versus Wolverine is this weekend, which is supposed to be just ginormous hit.
I know. Yeah, they've had a nice run recently. Have you seen Longlegs, Rob?
I have not. I've read a lot about it. I'm sort of fascinated by it. Did you see it?
Me too. No, I have not.
Yeah.
But I have jaded friends on social media that didn't like it, but critics really like it, and I love what I read about it. So I'm definitely going to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
They've marketed it really well, and I think what I've seen is like they market it as like the scariest movie ever made, and then horror fans go and say, you know what, not that scary. But Nicolas Cage seems super interesting. It seems super weird. It's like kind of Silence in the Lambsy, but then kind of takes a bit of a turn. So yeah, I'm very interested in it as well. There's
And there's another big milestone. Did you see that Inside Out 2 finally got over the hump? It is now the all-time highest grossing animated film.
That's great. We loved it, right? I mean, it's really good. I went in with some skepticism because it's a sequel, but I thought they did a really good job. So I mean, totally. Do you know what it beat? Do you know what it beat? I bet it was like a Toy Story or
Frozen 2.
Okay.
You know what's weird, and I don't know if they have adjusted for inflation or anything, but two of my favorite all times are both the first Toy Stories, and they're not even in the top 10. So, I mean, it seems like people really go nuts for sequels, which I don't understand. Like, it seems like the first one would be the more highly attended, but I don't know.
It must not be adjusted for inflation because like everybody saw that movie.
That's what
Toy
I thought.
Story 1995. Yeah.
So you're also watching Skywalkers. That's a Star Wars spinoff, I assume.
It is not. I was surprised. Yes, I mean, for once, it was not a Star Wars movie. Yeah, it was. It's this documentary on Netflix about these two Russian, very young, good-looking Russians who fall in love with each other. The twist is they fall in love, on a cell phone tower 150 stories up in the air. They're like these daredevil, they call it rooftoppers, but don't think it does it justice. Wow. They climb up to like these most super high towers and buildings. The woman is a former acrobat, and they take these just unbelievable drone footage of themselves. And so it's a interesting, I mean, first of all, it's incredible to look at. If you have vertigo, it's probably not for you because I mean there are rights, just sashaying on the edge of these. I mean, it's phenomenal and unbelievable how high up they are. And sort of the through line is them trying to get to the top of I can't remember the name of the tower in Kuala Lumpur, but it's like the tallest building in the world.
Oh yeah.
And it does that, and then sort of like their relationship, and like he was a YouTuber, and his like corporate sponsors like you need to have a woman for like I don't know more reach, and then they ended up kind of falling for each other, and she sort of she was more of an artist, I think, where he was more of a daredevil a little bit, and it's cool. It's on Netflix now. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
I had not even heard of that. I'm just looking at it right now. It does look really cool.
It's so cool to watch.
All right, so when we come back, I'm going to ask Rob about a new film called National Anthem that looks really cool, and the movie Fly Me to the Moon, which Rob did not seem to like as well, and we'll check out his Wisconsin Olympian knowledge as well, too. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
To the talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy with your Work Money Minute. Okay, I have been to Disney, and the first time I didn't even come close to sticking to my budget. How much Dole Whip can one mom eat? Turns out quite a lot. Now since then, as a Disney lover, I have found a few hacks, and today I'm going to share a little saving secret I recently stumbled across. It's a website called David's Vacation Club Rentals. So for more than 20 years, David's has helped Disney Vacation Club point owners rent their points to to prospective Disney vacationers. Then vacationers like me or you can use those points to book rooms on Disney properties. It's a little more complicated than a regular reservation, but the discounts can be pretty steep, like half the cost. Check it out, David's Vacation Club Rentals. For more Disney discounts, check out the member benefit section at
What is your favorite Olympic moment? Over the course of your life, what is your favorite Olympic memory? 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Rob, do you have a favorite Olympic moment?
Oh, Miracle on Ice. No question.
Yeah, so great, wasn't it?
Yeah, great movie, too. Yeah.
And have you ever interviewed Dan Jansen?
Is that Dan and Dave? Is that what we're talking about?
No, Dan was the speed skater who was like the best in the world, but could not win Olympic gold for some reason. And then he got over the hump. And it was like one of the most, it was one of my favorite Olympic moments, just seeing him, seeing his wife, and all the stress that was off their back. It was just a really cool moment. I think he was from West Bend. Yeah. And then Eric Hayden, I just found out from one of our texters told me Eric Hayden is also from Madison. This guy won an Olympic gold as a speed skater, and now he's like a brain surgeon, or he's an orthopedic surgeon. People like that really tick me off, Rob.
I'm struggling to get one career right. He's got two.
Right. I'm done with this. I think I'll do surgery now. Okay. So do you think the Hawk Tuah girls' 15 minutes of fame are up, Rob?
I don't know. Hey, more power to her. I mean, if you can ride that wave, go for it.
Yeah. I guess it seems like she's not getting the response she was getting to her head fake a few weeks ago. But.
I don't know what she's. Yeah, I saw. If I say the Chick-fil-A girl, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was a TikTok thing, but then I saw she's a Chick-fil-A employee, and she put out her first signal. And it's like, what are you doing? We didn't want that. All we wanted was the video. And now you want to be a pop star? Stay in your lane. Yeah. So.
Oh, man. We had, when we found out she was, the Hawk Tuah girl was either going to do stand-up comedy, and she had offers for her own reality show. I don't know how you stretch that into a reality show, but
no.
I'll send you, Conrad, let's take a memo to send Rob our sketch we did. It's just sort of a sneak peek at a particular episode. I think you'll.
That's great.
All right. So what else was I going to ask you about? Fly Me to the Moon. You didn't like it. I didn't see it.
Yeah. It was getting touted as sort of it's a return to the rom-com finally.
Yeah.
With Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson. It was a little too much because it was set around the Apollo 11 launch, and he's the straight-laced mission control guy, and she's this marketing person that NASA brings in to try and sell the space program to Americans who are kind of jaded at this point. So there's something there. I thought that was kind of interesting, but then there's this whole other part where she's supposed to fake the moon landing just in case Apollo 11 doesn't go well. She's trying to hide it from him. And then the whole movie becomes Apollo 13, and they focus, understandably, you focus on men walking on the moon. You don't want to, that's a little more important than whether him and her get together or not. Right. So, it didn't come together for me. It'll probably be on Apple TV pretty soon. I think. I'm not sure if it's even in theaters anymore.
It didn't do very well. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And then what about National Anthem? Looks good. You like that? I got to say that looks really interesting.
Yeah, that might be out of theaters by now. I think that was an indie, but it was about this. This photographer has done a whole book called National Anthem about photos about this gay rodeo circuit in New Mexico, Colorado. And he directed this film as sort of a fictionalized version about this young construction worker who's sort of very stressed out and frustrated, and he gets kind of caught up in this world, and it's sort of just a beautiful looking film, as you might expect from a photographer to make. And I really enjoyed it. I was sort of that was one I went into not really knowing what it was, and I thought it was a beautiful film. So like I said, it's probably out of theaters now, but probably coming to VOD pretty soon, I think, certainly by the end of the summer.
That is a subculture I was unaware of, Rob.
Yeah,
the gay rodeo.
It's fascinating. Yeah, and
really, I would imagine it would be.
Yeah, and one thing I liked about the film was that it didn't really like put that against like any sort of homophobic thing. It's just like this world and these people and like how they live and the joy they get from this. It was really quite inspiring to watch.
Did you see the Driveway Girls? Driveway Dolls?
Driveway Dolls, yeah. It was bad. Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
I thought it was bad. It was from one of the Coen brothers.
Half the Coen brothers, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, boy, I think you understand why you need the other half.
Yeah.
It was like,
I didn't hate it, but I agree. Yeah. It was just not, they were trying to do something and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I guess it was a script that had been sitting around on his desk since like the 90s or something like that. And since they were kind of on a break with each other, although maybe they're getting back together. One of them made that Macbeth movie with Denzel Washington, and then the other one was like, I'll make this one. And you can kind of see little glimpses of what like you said, kind of glimpses of what it could be. Sort of like a R-rated crime comedy. But yeah, I just did.
Lots of sex too. There was a ton of like sex in that film. I was not, which I don't. Whatever, that's fine. But it was just. I was not expecting it. I was expecting it more to being about the getaway rather than whatever. But
yeah.
Did you see? I'm sure you've seen the movie at some point, or I would assume you would have. Miller's Crossing.
Oh, fantastic film! Yeah,
one of my favorite of all time. Gave it a rewatch last night with my son, who was home, and. Wow, does that hold up? Yeah. So great.
Yeah.
And I think it's in my Coen top 3. I would say Lebowski, No Country, and Miller's Crossing, and I couldn't even tell you which is 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I think it's an underrated Coen Brothers because I think people. It came right after Raising Arizona, I think, which was such a great comedy, and people did not know what to make of this very straight, grim. Just crime film, and so but I think it's one of their absolute best. Absolutely.
So great. The dialogue is just brilliant, and then you've got the Danny Boy scene with Albert Finney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God! So great. Just outstanding. Yeah. Hey Rob, thanks so much for your time tonight, buddy. Great catching up on this Friday. Let's go to the movies and talk some more down the road.
Absolutely. Thanks, Pete.
Okay, buddy. Have a great night. Thanks, Rob. That is entertainment reporter from the Capital Times, Rob Thomas, one of our Nite Lite frequent flyers. Always fun to talk to Rob. When we come back, after more award-winning news coverage, we are going to take a deep dive into the film Caddyshack, and I'm going to read some more of your text. Our question tonight, what is your favorite Olympic memory? Let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75 This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Only lover I'm ever gonna need, a soft, sweet little girl's
To the talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Devil's Advocates radio show.
Earl Ingram.
Tune into the next show. It's Motown Monday. We'll react to the news from the weekend and talk about the issues impacting us all.
The Earl Ingram Show, weekday mornings at 9.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay. WGBW 1590 AM Denmark. W250 CV Green Bay. And always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Of the more than 60 wildfires burning across California, Oregon, and Utah, one north of Sacramento is the largest in California so far this year. What's making it tough for fire crews from a CAL FIRE captain, Cortland Duckworth. RH is relative humidity.
We have drought conditions. We have RH is in the teens, winds also in the teens, and temperatures up near the 100s or over 100s.
A triumphant return to the stage atop the Eiffel Tower tonight for Celine Dion, singing to close out a spectacular and wet, rainy opening ceremony of the Summer Olympic Games in Paris. The 76-year-old co-founder of the Mexican-based Sinaloa drug cartel has heard the charges against him in a federal court in El Paso, Texas. Nearly 2 weeks after Donald Trump was shot at a Pennsylvania rally, and after some questions about what nicked his ear from the FBI director, the FBI confirms it was a bullet, or fragment of a bullet, it says. This is ABC News. Parts of Texas have been rattled by earthquakes.
At 9:28 Central Time this morning, people here in Dallas-Fort Worth felt it. A rolling of the ground that lasted about 15 seconds and was followed about 12 minutes later by a much smaller aftershock. The U.S. Geological Survey puts the stronger one at a magnitude of 5.0, centered near the tiny West Texas town of Hermleigh, about 200 miles from here. Today's quakes followed a much weaker one that shook the same area yesterday. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Former Sangamon County, Illinois Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson is saying he was fired without cause after he allegedly shot and killed Sonia Massey in her home after she called 911 for help. Massey's uncle, Raymond Massey, spoke to reporters today.
My daughter and my nephew had to go in the house and clean up blood, and that just hurts me to see my family hurt.
Grayson charged with murder. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News, your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.fm.
It's summertime in Wisconsin, and whatever the weather, it will impact you and your plans.
Should I water the garden? Will our event be rained out? Count on your local Civic Media radio station for in-depth details and the most up-to-date forecast.
Temperatures are rising into the mid and upper 70s under sunny skies.
It's your weather and more for your part of Wisconsin.
On your local Civic Media radio station and streaming on the Civic Media app. The Todd Alba Show.
Reed Galen, co-founder of the Lincoln Project.
Project 2025 says that for the first time in 30 years, we want to restart testing of nuclear weapons. Tell me who that's good for. Yeah. I'm not sure it's really good for anybody. I have no proof of this. I think Donald Trump wants to see a mushroom cloud. I think he wants to feel the warm glow of an H-bomb on his pasty orange skin. I think he wants to feel the power.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Civic Media News, I'm Ella Saff. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Senator Tammy Baldwin is introducing a bill to protect communities from sudden hospital closures. As James Kelly reports, it's a response to what happened in Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls this year.
The new legislation is meant to protect communities from the sudden closure of essential hospitals. If passed into law, a closing hospital system would be required to notify the Department of Health and Human Services and develop a plan with public input to connect patients with accessible care. The notification would be required at least 90 days in advance of the closure. I'm James Kelly.
Baldwin is running for re-election against challenger Eric Hovde. Emerald ash borers have been found in all 72 Wisconsin counties as of Friday. The tree-killing pest was first spotted in Wisconsin in 2008. The Department of Natural Resources says one day they'll kill virtually all of Wisconsin's ash trees. And that's what you need to know. I'm Ella Saff, and this is Civic Media News.
Baseball tonight in Milwaukee. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Brewers are back home for the first time since the All-Star break as they host the Miami Marlins. Milwaukee winning 4 of their last 5 games on the road in Minnesota and in Chicago against the now last-place Cubs. The Brewers are 6 games ahead of the Cardinals. The Pirates are still in 3rd place, winning 8 of their last 10. Christian Yelich says he's leaning towards rest and rehab instead of a season-ending back surgery. Yelich is on the IL for the 2nd time this year with back tightness. NFL training camp. The Packers are now practicing in pads today, tomorrow, and Sunday, open to the fans. Jordan Love remaining a spectator. Packers wide receiver Christian Watson on Love's situation.
Obviously there's a business side to this sport as well. And, we're going to support him 100%, just like he does for us. So I think he deserves every penny that he's going to get and more. So, it's happy for him. And, hopefully whenever that time comes, he gets what he wants. And then, we can get this thing chopping.
That's number 9, Christian Watson. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly clear tonight, a low in the upper 50s. Mostly sunny, hot and humid for the weekend, highs in the mid-80s. Storms possible Sunday night, Monday. Another warm day with a high in the mid-80s. Most of the rest of next week looks drier and staying warm. Currently at 75 degrees.
Maggie Dawn.
Next, have you heard of the recombobulation area? Well, Dan.
Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who hates shaking hands, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of a Friday night edition of Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. I am your host, Pete Schwaba. Riding shotgun, as always, is the lovable producer. What do we call you that night? And I'm the lovable producer, Conrad. Did they ever use that?
I don't know. I haven't heard it since we recorded that. And
that was some of my best work. And I'm the lovable producer, Conrad. Text. A friend of mine just texted. She said she can't get through on the text line, so she wanted me to say Mary Lou Retton and Simone Biles. Oh, sorry. Simone Biles is her husband. She says Mary Lou Retton. Simone Biles, her husband is a big-time Packer fan. I have a feeling he's just picking Simone Biles because she has Is her guy still a Packer, Conrad?
No, actually, I believe he's a Bear now.
Oh, come on.
I do have some news, though.
Break it.
Jordan Love has agreed to a 4-year, $220 million contract. It makes him the highest QB in NFL history.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Okay.
Signing bonus of $75 million.
That will last until the next, A-list quarterback signs a contract. That's what happens, right?
I read something today that Brock Purdy could get paid like $325.
Come on.
And that's like a 5-year.
He's as tall as me. And that's not even like,
Can you throw a football
he
like
can
him?
throw a little better than me. I'm just saying. He's got. Chris Casper also checks in on the text line for our Olympic question. What is your favorite Olympic memory? Let us know. We will read it on the radio. Chris says, Carl Lewis in the 80s. Yes, of course. I cannot believe I forgot Carl Lewis. He said, absolutely amazing. Chris says, I was a track star and he was my hero. Have you ever met Chris Casper in person, Conrad?
Yeah, I believe he came up here. Yeah.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
He said he could dunk when he was like 5. I said, could you dunk? Because I got one clean dunk down in my day. I couldn't dribble, but I got one clean dunk down. He said, yeah, I could dunk when I was 5'10". I was like, oh, okay. So Chris is one of the rock star engineers here at Civic Media, and I have no doubt he's a very a big dude. Yeah, and Carl Lewis was like he had like a run of like, I want to say 4 or 5 Olympics where he just dominated. It was so much fun to watch him. I could put the dream team on there too. Jordan, Magic, Bird. That was kind of a fun era.
I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, you probably can. Those games are probably available. They might look.
I mean, it's not as great as like seeing it, actually happen.
Are you opposed to watching men in very short shorts play basketball?
I've seen it.
Have you? What about a tube top? Have you ever seen a guy play basketball on a tube top?
One of my friends from high school, he kind of looked a little like Larry Bird. And one game when we were doing a summer basketball league, he wore short shorts and a Larry Bird jersey.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. Bridget from the 818 says, my favorite Olympic memory is holding my newborn while watching the Aborigines make history during the Australian Olympics. Special time, special memories. Wow, that would have been like 2000, maybe 2004. I do remember that. That was a very cool moment. I wasn't even thinking about moments like that. I was thinking strictly of like, sports or like Olympic accomplishments, but those moments are incredible too. I remember the flying tomato too. That guy with the snowboard, Sean. Do you know him, Conrad?
Shaun White.
Shaun White. Yeah. That was kind of cool too. At first I was like, is this a sport, an Olympic? And then you watch it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. So, great text. Keep those texts coming, folks. What is your favorite Olympic memory? You sent me this picture of John Cena. What is the dizzle?
You and Rob were talking about Wipeout, and I don't know if you've seen the reboot of it where John Cena is one of the hosts.
But is that on the air now?
No,
on our airwaves?
I believe it only ran for 2 seasons.
You know what's so weird? I like that guy. Like, I don't watch wrestling. I don't think he's a great actor, but he seems really cool. Like, he's just kind of self-deprecating. He's a hard guy not to like.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing his farewell tour this year.
Right.
I believe he's going to end it next WrestleMania. This is when he's done with wrestling. And then I'm guessing he's going to make a boatload of movies.
I'm sure he will. He's a very likable guy. No question about it. So this week, Caddyshack dropped in 1980, folks. And one of my... Lately... there's a YouTube channel called, Was It Great or Were You 8? Like, do these movies hold up or not? And I got to say, Caddyshack holds up for me. I know it's not a great movie, but the parts I used to laugh at, I still really laugh at. I know it's slow. My son thought it moved really slow when I showed it to him. And that is just the way movies are cut now, but I still think it holds up. Let's hear one of the 2 Bill Murray clips, Conrad, and then we've got Ted and I too, but play one of the 2 Bill Murray ones first.
Yeah, I got to say, it is still such a great movie. I watch it all the time.
And you like golf. Do you like it aside from the golf aspect?
I liked it before I
Okay.
started playing. So, yeah, I love the movie.
Awesome.
What an incredible Cinderella story. This unknown comes out of nowhere to lead the pack. At Augusta, he's on his final hole. He's about 455 yards away. He's going to hit about a 2-iron, I think. Well, he got all of that. The crowd is standing on its feet here at Augusta. The normally reserved Augusta crowd going wild for this young Cinderella who's come out of nowhere. He's got about 350 yards left. He's going to hit about a 5-iron, I expect, don't you think? He's got a beautiful backswing. He got all of that one. He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy. Tears in his eyes, I guess, as he lines up this last shot. He's got about 195 yards left, and looks like he's got about an 8-iron. This crowd has gone deadly silent. Cinderella story, out of nowhere. A former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion. It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole! It's in the hole!
That is so great because that was me in my driveway all through middle school, shooting shots, 3, 2, 1, hitting the buzzer beaters.
Yeah.
And this idiot is picturing himself winning the Masters. It's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful. Let's do the other. This is a similar, the same character. This is Carl the greenskeeper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's hear that one.
When I was 16 years old, I fell in love.
No.
Sorry, Roy.
I have to laugh. Because I've outfinessed myself. By foe, my enemy is an animal. And in order to conquer him, I have to think like an animal. And whenever possible, to look like one. I gotta get inside this dude's belt and crawl around for a few days. Who is the gopher's ally? His friend. The harmless squirrel and the friendly rabbit. I'm gonna use you 2 guys to do my dirty work for me. It's the gopher.
so great. And then, I mean, the scene, I think my favorite scene in Caddyshack is with Bill Murray and Chevy Chase, which I understand a lot of it was improv. Chevy Chase is practicing for the big match with Judge Smales, hits it through Bill Murray's little abode, shack, whatever it was. And, of course, I think for me and all of my friends that I know that have discussed Caddyshack over the years, our favorite line is when Bill Murray says, yeah, Ty Webb tells Bill Murray where he lives. He says, yeah, you drop by my place. Totally insincere. You drop by my place anytime. And Bill Murray says, yeah, you're over there on Briar, right? He says, you got a pool over there? And Chevy Chase says, we have a pond out back and a pool. Pond would be good for you. Pond would be good for you. I don't know if that was improv. That's one of the most genius lines in movie history. It's so great. And that's what Chevy Chase was great at. Bill Murray's great at just about every approach he does to acting. But Chevy Chase, that condescending jerk, nobody does it better. All right. Our last clip. Do we have time for the Ted Knight?
Yeah.
Okay, here. This is Ted Knight, who played Judge Smales. This is part of an interview in New York with Chevy Chase, Bill Murray. Who am I missing? Chevy Chase, Bill Murray. And
Ted Knight.
Oh, Rodney Dangerfield
right.
and Ted Knight. And Ted Knight, who was a pretty serious actor, but one of the funniest people, whether it was the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Caddyshack, whatever. Here's Ted Knight responding to a question.
And here is Ted Knight looking, so wonderful and so proper and prestigious and all. And you're really a son of a gun in that movie.
Phony.
You're a judge, and yet you're saying the worst things about, certain people shouldn't belong to the country club.
Well, it's true. From Judge Smales' standpoint, that is. He's a traditionalist, and it's a well-defined character. Harold is one of the things that induced me to playing the part was the brilliancy of the writing by Harold Ramis and Brian Doyle Murray.
And Doug Kenny.
Doug Kenny gave me an opportunity to play another color, away from the Baxter type of thing I've been doing for so many years. And I had a thoroughly enjoyable time working with these three extremely gifted comedians. It's another inducement that I had. And the third and most important inducement was the lack of money, because I've been looking for a tax write-off, and I achieved that making this picture.
Well, Mary Tyler Moore told me to tell you she never heard of you. She saw the movie and the way you act in the movie.
The legendary Mary Tyler Moore, of course, and her phenomenal TV show that Ted, he was the best part of that TV show, too. He's Ted Knight is pretty much one of the best things in just about everything he's done. We used to have Smales drinking parties in college. We would put a poster of Ted Knight up as Judge Smales, so we just thought he was hilarious. All right, what are we going to do next, Conrad? We got Step Brothers to talk about?
Yeah, and
we'll read some more texts.
We also got one more Matt LeBlanc clip
we have
from Friends. Some of my favorite moments of Joey.
Perfect. It's a Friday night clip dump here at Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
City traffic's moving way too slow. Drop the pedal and go. 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 We going riding on the freeway. Oh, love is against our plans. We going riding on the freeway. Oh, love in my pink Cadillac. We going riding on the freeway.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Mino and the Mayor.
How do you keep your water for your bird feeder? You have those little motors that go in there. Those little fans.
I didn't put those in yet.
Does your bird feeder freeze? Does your bird bath freeze?
Jim, do you remember giving him that as a gift?
You know what?
Gave him that as a gift.
I did. I gave you that. You've never used it. I want it back.
In the winter, the birds use this little skating rink.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday mornings 6 till 9 on 97.
West. I'm going to be on the Mino and the Mayor show Monday morning at 8:30. Sometimes, folks, a win just falls into your lap. I can't wait to hang out with those guys a little bit Monday morning. We'll talk about who we have on Nite Lite next week and have fun with John and Jim like I always do. Those guys are so much fun in the morning. Not so much after 9 o'clock, but they're fun up until they go off the air. So that'll be fun. Tune in for that. Mino and the Mayor. Todd Michaels will probably, he'll probably contribute to the show as he does too. Todd has great comments from the rafters. It'll be fun. Jim from Appleton on the text line, the 920 says, Mark Spitz, because in that particular Olympics, the Russian and other Eastern Bloc countries were shaving all their hair off for more speed. Along comes this long-haired mustache-wearing decadent American winning everything. That's a great point. I mean, that's stuff you don't think about. Like you'd read that in the history books or on Wikipedia, and you just say, oh, Mark Spitz, he won 11 medals. But the drama behind it you don't get unless you were there. I saw Mark Spitz as a kid swimming in Portage Park Pool 2 doors down from my house, and some of the neighborhood moms were not happy because he would not sign autographs. He would not even acknowledge us. We were all like, Mark, 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 and he just walked right past. And all the moms and dads that were there said he had these like pontoon feet. Like Michael Phelps, those crazy, like, huge mitts as hands and feet that just make you a great swimmer. Anyway, that's a great one. Thank you. Thanks, Jim. Carla checking in. She says, Bruce Jenner in the Wheaties box. Boy, was that that was a generation. That was 2 generations ago. Conrad, think about this.
Okay.
Bruce Jenner, the greatest athlete in the world, won the decathlon. Great at a lot of different stuff. Marries a reality star. Has kids with her. And he's now a woman.
That's just the Kardashian way, I think.
It is. And it's stuff you can't. That is just how unpredictable. Like, if you're in a time capsule and you came out and go, that's Bruce Jenner. Yeah, right. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
What a life that guy's had. And I never watched the show, so I don't know.
I've never.
Yeah, I don't know what he was like on the show. Yeah, that's weird. But heck of a life. All right, so we've also got a bar band Friday night, by the way. Terry Barr coming by very soon with new music. Always looking forward to talking to Terry on Friday nights. It's a blast. We have, so Step Brothers dropped this week, too. Conrad was nice enough to cut some Step Brothers stuff together. So let's hear that first before Conrad's favorite moments from Friends in honor of Matt LeBlanc's birthday. We'll do, you want to set up the Step Brothers clip?
Yeah, so this is just one of the, beginning scenes, and it's Derek, the brother of, the main characters, Will Ferrell, and I can't remember his name, John something. But, yeah, this is Derek and his family singing.
Okay.
All right, gang, let's really nail it this time. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum.
She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories, where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky.
All right, Tommy, you're the oldest. I'm counting on you. Come on.
She's got eyes of the bluest skies, as if they thought of rain. I hate to look into those eyes and see it now.
Nice vibrato, buddy. All right, Alice, let's go.
Reminds me of a warm, safe
Flat. It's so flat. I don't even know. You don't even look good while you're singing. The worst thing I've ever heard. This is $1,200 a week for voice lessons, and this is what I get? Okay, I'm going to save it with the solo.
Bow, bow, I'm Derek, and I can sing high like this. And I can sing high.
Jesus!
Oh, sweet love of mine.
We should play that when Terry comes here and just act like that's the music that she brought for us. That's great. I heard you cutting that the other day. I was down the hall doing work for the show, and I'm like, what on earth is he listening? Like, I thought you found some a cappella band and you were just jamming out. So
I did, every single time I watch that, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Every time.
All right, so this is Matt, in honor of Matt LeBlanc's birthday. Let's play Conrad's favorite Friends moments.
This is all a moot point.
Huh. A moo point?
Yeah, it's like a cow's opinion. It just doesn't matter. It's moo.
Have I been living with him for too long, or did that all just make sense?
Your problem is quite clear. All you want is a dinkle. What you envy is a shrine. A thing through which you can tinkle, or play with, or simply let hang. This is the unit for you, my friend. Sturdy construction, tons of storage compartments, some big enough to fit a grown man. What? Oh, yeah. I got in there myself once. My roommate bet me $5 that I couldn't, and then he stuck a board through the handles and locked me in. Yeah. It was funny till I started feeling like I was in a coffin.
No, you can't fit in that thing. That's not deep enough.
Oh, yeah? If I can't, I'll knock $5 off the price of the unit.
All right, you have yourself a deal.
Okay. See? I told ya. Sometimes I come in here just to get away from it.
Oh my God!
What?
What happened?
Oh, man, he promised he wouldn't take the chairs.
What the hell happened? How are you locked in there? Where the hell's all of our stuff?
Well, this guy came by to look at the unit, and he said he didn't think it was big enough to fit a grown man.
So you got in voluntarily?
I was trying to make a sale. Oh, man, if I ever run into that guy again, you know what I'm going to do?
Bend over?
That's good. That's my buddy Mark Unger, who played the guy who locked him in the entertainment center. And I remember when Mark got that part, like in the 90s, he was embarrassed because Mark is like this serious actor. And those of us he was telling us were like, shut up. You were on Friends. And he's finally made peace with it.
Finally,
yeah. I mean, honestly, God, that's like one of the most iconic moments on the Friends show. It was a very funny moment. It was very funny when he was building it, too.
Yeah, and he saw Chandler's door in half.
Which could never happen. And I've seen that episode so many times, I realized the saw would not get away from you. You wouldn't go inside the frame, cut the part of the door, and outside of the frame. I look for these things, Conrad. All right, Terry Barr, coming up next on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and new music on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Cause now she's gone and I am free, and she can't do a thing to me. I just wanna dance the night away with senoritas who can sway. Right now tomorrow's looking bright, just like the sunny
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Of the more than 60 wildfires burning across California, Oregon, and Utah, one north of Sacramento is the largest in California so far this year. What's making it tough for fire crews from a CAL FIRE captain, Cortland Duckworth. RH is relative humidity.
We have drought conditions. We have RH is in the teens, winds also in the teens, and temperatures up near the 100s or over 100s.
A triumphant return to the stage atop the Eiffel Tower tonight for Celine Dion, singing to close out a spectacular and wet, rainy opening ceremony of the Summer Olympic Games in Paris. The 76-year-old 34-year-old co-founder of the Mexican-based Sinaloa drug cartel, has heard the charges against him in a federal court in El Paso, Texas. Nearly 2 weeks after Donald Trump was shot at a Pennsylvania rally and after some questions about what nicked his ear from the FBI director, the FBI confirms it was a bullet, or fragment of a bullet, it says. This is ABC News.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
Civic Media News, I'm Ella Saff. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Wisconsin is well represented at the Paris Olympics. Here's Lisa Hale.
18 athletes from the Badger State will compete for Team USA in the Paris 2024 Olympics. The biggest name competing might be Indiana Pacers' Tyrese Halliburton. He's an Oshkosh native on the men's basketball team. The Paris Olympics will last through August 11th. For Civic Media, I'm Lisa Hale.
Wisconsin's largest school district has an interim superintendent. The Milwaukee Public School Board voted Thursday to place the district's acting superintendent, Eduardo Galvan, into the interim position. He's overseen MPS since Keith Posley resigned in June. The board plans to conduct a national search for a permanent superintendent. And that's what you need to know. I'm Ella Saff, and this is Civic Media News.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
Civic Media News, I'm Ella Saff. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Wisconsin is well represented at the Paris Olympics. Here's Lisa Hale.
18 athletes from the Badger State will compete for Team USA in the Paris 2024 Olympics. The biggest name competing might be Indiana Pacers' Tyrese Halliburton. He's an Oshkosh native on the men's basketball team. The Paris Olympics will last through August 11th. For Civic Media, I'm Lisa Hale.
Wisconsin's largest school district has an interim superintendent. The Milwaukee Public School Board voted Thursday to place the district's acting superintendent, Eduardo Galvan, into the interim position. He's overseen MPS since Keith Posley resigned in June. The board plans to conduct a national search for a permanent superintendent. And that's what you need to know. I'm Ella Saff, and this is Civic Media News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly clear tonight, a low in the upper 50s. Mostly sunny, hot and humid for the weekend, highs in the mid-80s. Storms possible Sunday night, Monday. Another warm day with a high in the mid-80s. Most of the rest of next week looks drier and staying warm. Right now it's 73.
The Todd Alba Show.
Trygve Olson, Senior Advisor with the Lincoln Project. You know, one of the things I think that you've done with this show, and I'm proud to be a part of it, is we've really tried to get out and listen to people. And that's why I'm so thankful to work for a company like Civic Media that allows us to do that. Because the more we get out and listen to our friends and neighbors, we discover they're not our enemy. We're all Americans, and it really is a melting pot.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
On Monday's show, we'll check in with Brittany Merlot to take a look at the weather for the
Nite Lite coming back from a break. How specific is that? Great to have you with me on this Friday night as we wind down yet another week talking about movies and TV and music and theater and all the things we love. Conrad, we should get this Paul Blart guy on.
I agree.
Alan Talaga, I think is his name. We should, let's get him on the show for sure. We'll try to line him up for next week. This is exciting. We have a segment. this is probably our longest segment that we've been doing on Nite Lite since the show has been on the air since 1962. And I started hosting it in utero. And I wasn't even close to being in utero in 62. How old do you think I am, Conrad? 38.
I was going to say 25.
All right. Very well done. But this next guest, she is a Nite Lite frequent flyer. It's Bar Band Friday night. Terry Barr joins us now. Terry, how are you?
I love it. I'm going to keep it Bar Band Friday night.
I think we got a new, like, how do we not have a label for your appearance here? We got to make a thing.
I have no idea. I guess we've never thought about it.
We're going to get a sponsor, a cool bar in the state, and we're going to make this a real, it's already a thing, but we're going to take it to the next level.
Let's do it.
We'll make it it'll be the Cheers of radio.
Oh, and everyone will know everyone's name, of
That's
course.
right. And it's in a bar, a B-A-R or a B-A-R-R. Terry Barr is one of the hosts of Max Inc. Radio, the award-winning show here on Civic Media. Just a great show. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Wait, this might be a different week, though, right, Terry?
Well, what we are doing this weekend with Max Inc. Radio, you can hear some of our favorite bits and pieces of past shows.
Okay.
Saturday night and Sunday night, because Max Inc. Radio is proud to be a sponsor of the Atwood Fest in Madison. It's 3 stages of live music going basically all day, all night. And I love this. It's back to one of those street parties that maybe you remember attending as a kid, where the entire street is blocked off and it's just for everybody to walk around, enjoy the music, enjoy the food, and enjoy each other's company.
How about that, huh?
I know.
A novel idea.
We were, as Atwood Fest, and I thank you for always calling Max Inc. the award-winning show. That means so much to us.
I'm just speaking the truth, sister.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, we, as Atwood Fest, have been voted the best festival in the Madison area. So we're pretty proud of that, too.
That is really cool. That's fantastic. And it doesn't surprise me at all. So, how are you? It's great to have you on the show tonight. Let's talk about Atwood Fest. But first, how are you?
Oh, thanks for asking. I think I'm all right. How about you?
Not so good,
You're never
Terry.
quite sure, you know?
We're doing great. It's Friday night in downtown Green Bay. A beautiful summer night. What could be better? You got good weather for Atwood Fest, too, right? I mean, a little hot tomorrow maybe, but should be good.
We keep watching for rain on Sunday. I mean, no matter where you are or what you're doing across Wisconsin, there could be some rain Sunday.
Okay.
And they keep moving the timing around. So that's been a little disconcerting for those of us who are having to be on a stage at noon when they say, oh, no, now it's moved from nighttime to, oh, it could hit by noon. So everybody, whatever you're doing, just keep an eye on the weather on Sunday.
For sure. Well, that's exciting. And three stages going at once. You can't beat that.
Oh, yeah. At all different ends of the streets, lots of amazing local food. And the coolest thing is at the end, money made, all of it goes back in to support the neighborhood association. They've been doing this kind of thing since 1982, which I think is so cool and says so much for that neighborhood. And that's why they keep it free to get in. Everyone else who is there donates a part of the proceeds back, and then that goes to the neighborhood. How cool is that?
That is really cool. It doesn't surprise me, though. Everything I've heard about Atwood, I just think it's a really cool, funky neighborhood. Like, I love the Barrymore Theater and the, isn't the Weary Traveler there and the arcade bar? Like, there's so many cool places there, you know?
All of it. Very good. Yeah, good times. I mean, it is still one of those neighborhoods you can park your car and feel safe walking around to the various venues that you just mentioned.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, so we get a little bit of an added treat this week. You've shared 3 different bands with us and 3 different songs. We have a favorite. I hope that's okay. We like everything that you submit, but we'd like to tease a couple of the songs and then play the full our kind of consensus favorite, if that's okay.
You got it. That's why I thought, and I had a hard time picking what to send you because there's 30 bands at Atwood Fest in the course of the 2 days.
Yeah.
So I chose 3 very different sounding bands thinking, okay, I'll let you guys have some fun with this.
And they're all great.
Oh, they are terrific. And yes, they're all very different. So I think it really depends on your style of music that you enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not a huge, like, I don't hate country or anything, but no, I'm serious. Like, let's start, but I really like this song you sent. Conrad, let's start with, and I love the name of this song, Parking Lot Kiss. Such a great song name.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the Elizabeth, is it the Elizabeth Mary Band? Terry, am I
It is, and they play Sunday afternoon at Atwood Fest.
Fantastic. Let's hear a little sample of that, Conrad.
Underneath the stars on a cold winter's night, this beating in my chest was too much to fight. Ooh, this time it was different. You pull me in close, I kiss your cheek. I'll never forget the way you were looking back at me. For a moment, time stood still. Changed by fate, the moment we've been waiting for. What started as a friendship grew deeper with time. I can't believe you're here, I can't believe you're mine. Knew the moment I kissed your lips, can't forget the feeling I felt that night. Arms all around me, holding me tight.
I absolutely love that song.
Can I tell you what the what the story is behind it?
That might be my favorite. Yeah, go ahead. Of course.
Okay, so Elizabeth Mary is in the studio recording music, and she's in what is Megatone Studios, long-time Madison studio, owned, run by Paul Schluter, who happens to be an amazing guitar player. Years ago, he was in a band that traveled the world. Well, now he's in Madison, runs the studio. Elizabeth Mary goes to record. They fall in love in the parking lot. So it's a story about them.
Wow, that's cool.
Isn't that awesome? But this is a brand new song. She wrote it for their anniversary. So it's a brand new song to celebrate their anniversary of being married.
Is that him in the video?
Yes.
Okay. I love Parking Lot Kiss. That's a great song title.
Yeah. Isn't it sweet?
All
Yeah.
right. That was Elizabeth Mary, Parking Lot Kiss. Now we're going to do, help me out with this last name. Is it Julian Primo?
Yes, it is. Now, Julian is coming to Madison from New Orleans. He is actually on a huge festival tour right now. So I know my partner in crime, Rocker, with Max Inc. Radio, has said we are so lucky to get him.
Nice. Now, tell me, I'm sorry, one more time. Elizabeth Mary, where is she from?
She's from the Madison area.
Oh, my gosh. My next trip to Madison, I would love to get her in the studio. Can we make that happen?
You let me know. Well, let's work on it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a great song. All right, here. Yeah. This is another sample we're gonna play. This is Julian Primo, and the song is "Move in the Night."
Yeah.
Move in the night. I used to go till the feeling's right.
I never sank in the sand, Lord. Now the waves come rolling in. I used to move in the night. I used to go till the feeling's right. I used to move in the night. I used to go till the feeling's right. I never sank in the sand, Lord. Now the waves come rolling in. I used to move in the night. I used to go till the feeling's right. We used to run this here town. Now everyone has settled down. This is the life, it's on the floor. Lord, don't need no pity, I got shot for more. I used to move in the night. I used to go till the feeling's right. Everyone used to have some fun. We used to move, baby, move. Everyone used to shake and shout, but now there's no one here to even turn me on. Oh, I used to move in the night. I used to go till the feeling's right. I never sank in the sand, Lord. Now the waves come rolling in. I used to move in the night. I used to go till the feeling's right.
All right, I said I had a favorite, Terry, but I mean, honestly, I like every one of these songs so much.
Well, you know, and the whole idea with Atwood Fest is to come, hear new music, like new music, and then follow these artists. Half of them are local from Wisconsin. We've got, you know, bands coming in from Milwaukee, Oshkosh, Eau Claire, but then we have Nashville, New Orleans, and further parts. So it's a great way to get to know new music.
You know, my only regret of we have a third song. We'll play that after a very short break. I hope nobody goes anywhere because this is a great song, but the only downside is sometimes you send music and I can download it. And I have it on my phone then. These are all YouTube.
Well, you said you did one artist and then you played it over and over and over for your wife until she said, enough.
Right, pretty much, yeah. And I just had her on the show on Monday. That was fun. So
Marta Hanson, piano gal.
Absolutely. She was great. Katie Scullin is one of my faves. I got to have Katie on again. And I would take any one of these three bands you've given us. I would love to have tonight on this show. But we'll do that next. We've got one more sampling of great music tomorrow night. It was my favorite, but now it's a tie for the top. Ooh. This is Pete Schwaba. Terry Barr's with us. And it's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
What God has done through us, He's given life to one. But isn't she lovely,
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Matinee on Air.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? Wish Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Let's get back to live music in the Lair with Kaylin Colt. The next song you have for us tonight is called 1103.
Yes.
Is that a time or a flight number?
Oh, that's actually really good. That's a good idea. I think I might have to write another song with that. You'll get 50%.
It's live in the Lair. Grab the podcast now at maxinkradio.com and listen live.
We are back in our final lap of Nite Lite for this week and this glorious evening here in our beautiful state of Wisconsin. Broadcasting statewide from downtown Green Bay, which is jumping. Conrad, is it still jumping out there?
I mean, I heard a car screech out there, so it's jumping.
This is the Green Bay is known to me as the city of no mufflers. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what people are trying to achieve, but it's a little annoying. But maybe that's just down here where it's jumping. Terry Barr is with us here. It's a bar band Friday night. Terry, you still like it?
Thank you. I love it. I'm going to have one of my musician friends do a jingle for us.
Oh, that's so funny because I just said to Conrad, we need some music. We need to make this more of a bit and have intro music and everything. But if you have someone that you think could crush it, let's do it. I'm going
to ask somebody. Absolutely.
Love it.
Ooh, I like it.
All right, so we have one more band, and that you can see all these bands at Atwood Fest, by the way, this weekend in Madison. We just heard Elizabeth Mary, Parking Lot Kiss, Julian Primo, Move in the Night, and our third, do you want to set this up for us, Terry? This is The Flavor That Kills, and their song is Save For You.
And I do want to say, okay, so we just heard all original music. Those are all original music bands, so you get to hear these new songs, which is really cool. We have two legacy bands, Steely Dan and VO5. They're an 80s cover band. Steely Dan, of course, a Steely Dan cover band. So if you're into that, that is at Atwood Fest as well. Fantastic. But Flavor That Kills, you're going to be happy to know this. They're from Madison.
Oh, I love it. These guys are in Madison too? I love it.
We'll add them to your list.
Please.
Get them on your show when you're in Madison.
Big list going here. I love it. All right, let's hear. This is The Flavor That Kills and Save For You.
Save for you, I'd not given up my control. Save for take. Forget what went wrong. Maybe it's why we're back here.
That's a great song, too. That was The Flavor That Kills. Save for You. They will be performing it at Woodfest this weekend, too. Terry,
They're
what?
Saturday afternoon at Atwood Fest in Madison.
That's so great. Have they all been on Live in the Lair or on Max Inc.?
Well, Elizabeth Mary Band and Flavor That Kills have had small segments. So we're working on getting them back on bigger segments, which would be the Live in the Lair for an hour from 9 to 10, and neither of them have done that. Elizabeth Mary's band is fairly new together. She's been around for a while, and they've all been around, but they're a new band. And the Flavor That Kills, honestly, this is me discovering new music. I'm excited to know more about them because I don't know a lot about them, but I really dig their music.
Yeah, they have a great sound. Thank you so much, Terry. Have a great weekend out there.
Gosh,
I'm
you guys
envious.
too.
Yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you next weekend for Bar Band Friday.
Uh-oh.
Terry,
everybody have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks, Terry. That is Terry Barr. Check out the award-winning Max Inc. Radio tomorrow night from 6 to 12. They will be on the air doing kind of a best-of show. It'll be fun. Terry Barr is always a blast. I'd like to thank Rob Thomas. And all your texts. Oh, we have one more text here we have to read, Conrad. This is from the 608. Steady Eddie is back. I love it. He was here last night, too. Pete, as far as the Olympics go, a couple of 1968 Mexico City memories come to mind. The TV host was Jim McKay of ABC, best known for hosting Wide World of Sports. I remember him well. Dick Fosbury won gold in the high jump and changed the event forever with his Fosbury flop. He cleared 7 feet 4 1/4 inches. And then his second moment, Bob Beamon won a gold medal and set a world record in the long jump. The world record has since been broken, but Beamon still holds the Olympic record, 29.2 feet. Thanks so much, Steady Eddie. Thanks for all your texts. We'll be back Monday night with radio legend Steve Cochran on the show and comedian Zane Lamprey. Join us then. In the meantime, have a great weekend. This is Pete Schwaba on behalf of Conrad for the Civic Media Radio Network and Nite Lite. Good night, Wisconsin.
I'll take you to your best friend's house. Marmalade, we're making out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll take you to